What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Serie career mode. It is episode number 27, Udinese's form finally stabilising after a really inconsistent run, but 3 wins on the trot in the league right now, still outside the top 4 but catching up, and today we'll have more big games of Serie A, the Coppa Italia last 16 at home to Monza first, and we'll have the first leg of the Champions League last 16 away against Paris Saint-Germain as well. Oh yeah, and there's a small matter of the final week of the window where, on the back of the sale of Makumbu, 24 million euros might make a signing, might not. I guess we'll see. And there was a big bid for Querfeld just before our last game from Marseille, and now Chelsea have put a bid in for Oman as well. He's come back from his loan spell at Wolves, but we're definitely not letting this kid go. It's a great swap deal, including for, to be fair. Well, I was going to completely outrule it, but actually, Fofana, basically a little switchy there. For one of the better young strikers in this year's FC. I mean, put it this way, Luka's injury, Kawame being inconsistent, it's not a bad option to consider. But I'm going to say no. Oman, homegrown, he's come back. I want to give him the game time. Look what happened when we gave the Super Gash Bros game time. They've excelled, and I think Oman can do the same. As for Querfeld, he's going nowhere. So, let's dive into the first game of today's episode. It is indeed Monza in the Coppa Italia last 16. We haven't got through this round yet, and this year the board have asked us to get to the quarterfinals the first time in the save. For me, though, I said this year, I want to take Udinese to a final. Realistically, this is our only shot, but I'm targeting semi-finals. But first, got to get through the last 16. Monza at home for Udinese. And as you would have seen pre-game, 150 games now in the Serie with Udinese. It's incredible to think that we are midway through season 4. You know, I don't know where the time has gone. I know this sounds very, very cliche, but honestly, man, like, it genuinely feels like we started our Luton Town career mode, like, I'm not going to say yesterday, but, you know, like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Like, where has the time gone in this year's FC? Here's Luka fires a shot just wide early. It's been class, though. We said a couple episodes ago, this has been one of my favourite FC/FIFA years ever. And the support you guys have given me from the very beginning has been one of the main reasons why. It's been class. Let's go. Festi. Nice to see you. Just well done, to be fair. Oh, it's got to be one. Oh, I took it on a bit too early with Zielinski. Caught in 2 minds there. Still 0-0. And, you know, when games like this are happening, sometimes, you got to get goals a different kind of way. It's been such a tough one. That's going to do it. Let's go in extra time. Such a scrappy game. I don't want to blame the conditions, but honestly, man, it's not blaming the conditions. It's blaming myself for not being able to handle the conditions. That's the thing. I can't play on a surface like this. It's just too slow. It reminds me of, I mean, it's different. It's a different kind of thing. But basically, Stoke City, back in their kind of Premier League heyday in the early 10s, if you will, early to mid 10s, they had a strategy at dealing with teams who were comfortable on the ball and like to knock it around, and that was by letting the grass grow long. And it's been well documented. Tony Pulis had a say in this, and it's one of the reasons why they were able to stop teams playing that way so well, because the grass held the ball up more, so it was harder for teams to play the way they wanted to, and it suited Stoke into the ground, because they weren't in their prime. They weren't a side that wanted to play tiki-taka, let's just say that, you know. And it was just a way of them countering teams that played that way. Oh, man! Come on! Fires in the open and his first for Udinese since returning from loan. And that is why we turned down the bid from Chelsea. I believe in this kid. I believe in him. And he might see us through to the quarters. Well, normally the Slovenian that bails me out is the centre-half that wears the armband. But tonight, it's the kid returning from loan at Wolves. And his first goal for the club is the one that will send us into the quarterfinals. Far from convincing, far from dominant, far from pretty. But it is a win and progress regardless. Put us in the hat for the last day. And we should see it directly after the advance as well. No replays in the Coppa Italia. They get it right, in my opinion. And it seems as though there were there was one shock there. Hellas Verona knocking out Atalanta. And they right now are a Serie B side. I believe the only Serie B side remaining. So fingers crossed we've got them in the quarterfinals. And it's not, it's the old lady who knocked us out last year in the last 16. We meet him again, Juve in the last 8. And as Nice put a loan bid in for Zamora, of course, we'll turn that one down. Again, deadline day right around the corner, but I don't think we'll be doing anything with it. I think we'll just get through it quickly, because after this season, getting given quite a small budget, put it this way, we're going to need a much bigger one next year, regardless of whether we're playing Champions League, Europa League, or Conference League football. But if it is going to be Champions League, we need to keep this winning run going. 4 in all competitions, 3 in the Serie A, and now taking on Sassuolo in Udine, aiming for another big 3 points here to keep the pressure on the top 4. Forza Udinese. Pickford a goal for Sassuolo in this game. Go on, Jordan. Go on, Jordan. Biggest night of his life tonight as he makes a good save there, but a comfortable one, pushing it behind for a corner. I've never understood why Pickford gets quite a bit of, I don't know, just criticism on social media. Like, he's, you know, I see some people like, oh yeah, main character energy, but you need that to be a goalkeeper at this level, do you know what I mean? As Xhaka is also denied by Sassuolo and England's number 1. You need that at this level, you know? I think he's a decent bloke as well. I think he's a decent bloke as once again. Hey, listen, I might be hoping he does that tonight, but not right now. Yeah, I think he's a decent bloke. I like him. I also liked as well when I don't know if anyone caught this, when we were playing Switzerland and Shaqiri tried to catch him out from the corner. I like how he put his thumb up afterwards, just to say, fair play, mate. I know with so much at stake. Listen, we're both pros trying to compete at the top level here. We respect each other. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyway, he has made save after save after save in 30 minutes. If that's what's to come tonight, then good luck, Spain. He's been unbelievable in this game. I can't beat him here. As Prati dinks it in and it's cleared away. Still 0-0. Easy. It's going to be 1. Oh, I don't believe it. Honestly, man. How many times do I say it? What makes Ultimate so difficult? The fact that you might need several chances to maybe not even score, like in this case, I need the 1. Ridiculous. We were 4 points behind pre-game, and on the back of 3 straight Serie A wins, I was thinking, here we go, making a dent in the deficit, but we just can't catch up. We've been outside the top 4 all season long. I think we're going to stay out there for the rest of it. I just do not see how we break through. Prati denied. Pickford again. Scadoli through the gap. Georgie. Oh, Pickford again. Incredible. England's number 1. Sassuolo's hero. Extraordinary. Save after save after save. Until he's finally beaten. Xhaka, pick it up, son. 10 to go. Come on. Come on, don't throw away the point. Don't throw away the point. Of course, you want all 3. Most crucially, don't throw away the point. Prati can't make the tackle. Gashi, what a big save. And in the game where Pickford's getting the plaudits, where it was Fatos who needed the concentration late to ensure, if nothing else, we will get a point. I assume. Oh no, I don't believe it. Brilliant save a moment ago, but he's dropped a clanger there. Fatos, you've got to get to that, son. Wasn't right in the corner, at your near post. Little pal, you've got to save that. Forget the top 4, forget it. We're not going to do it. Just too many slip-ups. Too many losses in games we should have won. Forget the top 4, this is going to be our solitary year in the Champions League, because we ain't making it again for next year. No way. Well, deadline day is here, and again, even though our form has been just abysmal all season long, and there is a little bit of money remaining. I mean, you know, what can you do with 23, let's be honest here, probably more like 22 million euros nowadays. It doesn't get you what it used to do, let's be totally honest here. And so for me, I'm just going to say, let's not necessarily write this season off, but let's just save as much money as we can for next season to go after a big target, someone that's mid-80 overall that can possibly help us make the step up back in to the Champions League, because we're not going to be back in it next year. Companion's still not available to help us as a third choice striker. So that being the case, we're going to get through deadline day very, very quickly. Don't make any changes. I'm not writing the season off, But yeah, we're primarily focused on next season's transfer window now. As Leicester want to take Christian Carrasco, that Chilean DM, but of course we're going to turn it down. Because again, you've got to realise, like, since the save began, like, we've had 4 summer transfer windows, 4 initial budgets, and every single season they've been low. They've been low budgets. Even this year, going into the Champions League, we still had, let's be honest, a comparatively very low transfer budget. So the only way we're going to be able to have a bigger budget is by A, selling one of our star players, which quite frankly, if we do, we're going to be in trouble. As Milan want Querfeld, but no, I'm not losing anyone on deadline day here. If we sell one of our star players, like the captain Xhaka, for example, or Prati, we're not going to be able to compete with those teams to be back in the top 4. And my goodness gracious, okay. Big European clubs know this guy's the real deal. I've got to give him some more game time. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But the point is, we're not going to be able to compete if we sell our better players, especially to division rivals as well. In order to get a bigger budget, we need to be conservative, save our money for new season, and hope that the board will be a little bit more kind to us when giving us the initial budget. The top deals, Lisandro Martinez to Milan for 81.7 mil. Bruno Guimaraes joins PSG, so we're facing him today. And Reece James leaves Chelsea finally to join RB Leipzig. Yeah, I'm not writing the season off, but I really can't see us making the top 4 with 15 games to go. I just can't see us doing it. Yep, the gap might only be 5 points. When you consider all the slip-ups this season, it feels like an insurmountable amount to make up. Following game, Atalanta away in Bergamo and needing to return to winning ways to at least keep us within touching distance, because I can see Juve going on a run here and pulling away. Massive contest to try and bounce back in for Udinese. I've said it all season long that the biggest problem has been losing the bankers and slipping up in games that, simply put, should be comfortable wins. You know, how many times have I said it? No one's going to mind if we lose at the San Siro. No one's going to be gutted if we lose against Juventus. But Lecce at home? Like, come on. You're going to win those games, man. Comfortably. Long way to go. Profundi with the opener. Edison looking for space. Tackled by Profundi, throwing himself around out there. Not just with the goal, but helping out on defence too. As Gashi makes a good save. Listen, Fatos, mate, you've won me more points than you've cost me since we promoted you. I was critical for letting that game winner slip in, but I still believe your long-term side. Oh, no, my goodness. But he has got a mistake in him, hasn't he? You got to back the kid, man. He's going for a bit of a crisis in confidence right now. As Jack heads it away. Oh, how on earth did that stay out, honestly? Like that. And again, oh yes, Jacko, went in, son. Skipper, I need you right now. I need you to shepherd me. Yes, well done. Oh, I tell you what, man. Seriously, when you're struggling, you need your reliables to stay that way. Xhaka got the leveler against Sassuolo, albeit coming in vain, and it's been a brick wall at the back in this one too. God, Jack, hope you get some. Oh, mate, absolute monster today. One of his best performances since the save began, right when we needed it the most. There's the skipper. Finds Festi. Ball game. It's a brace for Profundi, but it was brilliant from Biol. Udinese pulling out on the back of a huge home loss. 2-0 win in Bergamo. We ain't going to give up. Dogs might be defeatist at times, but we ain't going to give up. Massive win. Alright, let's do it. The Coppa Italia holders in the Coppa Italia quarter-finals, who last year knocked us out on the way to winning it. And right now, they're looking like our main rival in the save, both for the Cup and also the top 4 finish this season and last us to. Juve in the quarters for Udinese. Yeah, I'd say Juve have become our main rival in the save thus far, based on the way it's gone. And, you know, when people ask me, like, Doxy Boy, how do I make my RTGs more immersive and kind of fun for the long term? Create rivalries. Like, create rivalries. If the team you're managing, if you're doing an RTG, for example, and maybe the team you're managing isn't in your division, or likely to be in your division, create a new rivalry with someone, you know? Create a new rivalry based on how the games are going or the circumstances of both clubs. It makes it really fun, you know. So Juve have become our proper main rival in this series. So every time we face them, it's always a fun and feisty game, you know. As Doherty wins it back, press through the gap. Oh yes! Simone Buffoni with the opener. Udinese strike first against the holders. Get rid of that. He's on there, Kwame. And Chesney with a reasonably comfortable save. But 39 minutes in, I've got to say the holders haven't shown much bite at the moment. And if we can go 2 goals up before the break, Pratty's delivery. Oh, Chesney did enough. And Cambiasso will clear. But at the moment, yeah, I'm feeling quite confident here. As bad as we've been in the league this season, let's just say we're certainly doing our job in the Cup and in Europe as well. As things stand, we're knocking out the holders here, but of course still a long way to go as we get towards the halfway stage. I feel he's going to have that all day. And Timothy Weah. Oh, no. Oh, throw away. But this is the problem. This is the problem. We've gifted so many goals away this season, and that's the thing. It's not even just the slip-ups and the losses and the draws we've had in the league. It's the gifts. How many goals have I conceded this year where the defence has been awful, or I've just made an unforced error like that? It's just not. Lack of composure. Like I said, it's a young team. Happens to these young teams. And what a throwaway this is going to be. We're sitting pretty, and now we're level. I can't stand this rain. No, I really can't. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, hang on a second. If you can't stand playing in rain, then why don't you just turn the rain off and play in clear conditions? For me, I never, ever, hand on heart, change the match conditions. Whatever the game gives me, that's what I go with. If it snows, if it's sunny, if it's torrential downpour, whatever the game gives me, that's what I play with. I don't control the weather, unfortunately. I've just got to play through it. But in this game, I've bottled it from a goal up to 2-1 down. I think for next year, when we're looking at what we need, I don't want to drop Fatos to the bench. He has made me some really big saves. He has come up big a couple of times. But I do wonder if his his low overall and his slow growth is kind of holding us back a little bit. You know, in top level football, you need to make some tough decisions. And I am thinking maybe next year, that's one we might have to make. Possibly just because he doesn't save a lot. He doesn't save a lot. Yes, every now and then he makes a really good save. He doesn't save a lot of the shots. And if you want to be a top-level team, having a top-level man between the sticks at times is really, really important. Can make the difference between winning and losing. Not just games, but silverware too. This is going to be free. This is going to be game. We're out. The holders come from behind to make it through. The rivalry with Juve continues. And I think in this game here, yeah, for next season, whether we're Champions League or most likely Europa or Conference League, I hate to say it, but Georgie will still be starting. But my mind will probably be wondering, is it time to drop Fatos to the bench and bring in a star goalkeeper? Because maybe, just maybe, that's what we're missing here. To bail me out when I need bailing out. Szczesny just made a great save there. Fatos wouldn't be making that. Absolutely bottled it. And the wait for a semi-final place continues. It's been the toughest season of the save based on our expectations and objectives. And I've said it many times, toughest version of the franchise I think I've ever played. Unbelievable. Right, let's do at least 2 more. We might stop short of that first leg against PSG and save it for the next episode and combine both legs together. But we'll definitely do 2 more games, 2 more league games. We try and bounce back here and make it 3 straight league wins, trying to keep the pressure on the top 4. Following contest, aiming to return to winning ways. Genoa at home for Udinese. Like that. Can't go right. Yeah, he's on. Timed it perfectly there. Oh, pretty. Not really a finisher, so can't blame him, but such little power behind that. Come on. Got to return to winning ways here, man. Yes. L1, R1, L2, R2. The cheat code with the opener. Come on. Thing is, though, we were leading against Juve, and look what happened there. Lost 3-1. So, yeah, well felt, wasn't it, mate? I'd like to say got to be tighter defensively, but we don't do that here. I can't defend. Not free at the back anyway. Oh, it's Kawhi, mate. Almost made it to Zielinski. Oh, wonderful. Oh, what a goal. Brilliant little incisive passing move, and Festi finishes it off. Should be returned to anyways, and keeping the pressure on the top 4 is all we can do. Well, hardly the win of the century, but considering how we've been playing, well, really all season long, I'll take any win I can get, and a rare clean sheet as well. It's 2-3, and back-to-back in the league. And back-to-back wins as well. All we can do is keep the pressure on, man. And again, win consistently. Let's do one more. We'll save both PSG legs for the next episode and play them together. Yeah, we'll end on this, our final game today, and save both legs of the Champions League last 16 against PSG for the next one. It is Como away, which needs to be a banker. 13 games remaining. We're now 3 behind both Juve and Lazio. And to be fair, I mean, we're also only 5 behind Milan and Inter as well. So it's not like the deficit is unsurmountable, but it just feels as though if we can't go on a consistent winning run, we're not going to make it. So a chance to make it 3 wins in a row to end the episode off, in the Serie A at least. Forza Udinese. I mean, I've been talking about Juve and targeting them as the team to take out, but maybe that's just because of what happened last season. At the end of the day, Lazio are right next to them. And then obviously you've got the Milan boys as well. It's, it's not just Juve we're battling with here, even if it does feel like it at times. But if we can go on a winning run, you just never know, right? You just never know. And if this man stays fit and healthy, we've certainly got a chance. Simone Profundi has been absolutely sensational this season. I think he's the lowest rated player in the outfield positions for who regularly starts. And yet he's been perhaps my player of the season. So, as I often say, the overall rating is a good indicator as to how good a player is going to be. But it's not everything. As Fatos is denied what would have been our second goal. I would call him our player of the season this year, in my opinion. Still leading by 1. If we get a second goal, I think we're going to be alright. Come on, let's keep pushing and get that second. Second half underway. Still holding on to that slender 1-goal lead. And based on how you defended this year, I'm not going to say a second goal is mandatory, but it sort of feels like it. Because you know, oh thank God he's run out of real estate. With my defence, man, we don't keep many clean sheets. Now, having said that, we have just kept back-to-back in the league, so, you know, give credit where credit's due. Have picked it up, albeit slightly. A second goal would do us the world of good. Yes! Sneaks in to the bottom corner. And Udinese are getting their 3rd win on the trot. I think the real thing now is just can we see out the clean sheet as well, because again Fatos has really struggled for them this year. We've been poor defensively, so one of my favourite sayings, you learn through evidence. You know, if you've done it before, you can do it again. And so when you're struggling for defending and you're leaking lots of goals, it's why it feels like you're just going to keep on leaking game after game. And if you can, yes, Gashi, if you can build a few clean sheets in a row and stack them together, then you start to think, okay, we're sorting out the problem. 3-0, 3 points. Back on track. Again, with a minute to go, got to make sure we see out the clean sheet too, because, like I said, psychologically, it's going to give us a big boost. And we'll get it. We'll get it, we'll get it, we'll get it. And what we are getting right now is our form sorted. There's still a long way to go. Consistency has been our problem. Slip-ups have been a major factor too as to why we're outside the top 4. But the gap is cut. And we're not going anywhere. The question is, can we keep this up for the rest of the season? But that will do it for today's episode of the Serie A Career, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed. If you have done, please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return in the next one with more big games in the Serie A, aiming to keep pace with the top 4 in our hunt for a Champions League place for a second straight year. And we'll have the Champions League last 16, both legs, home and away, against Paris Saint-Germain as well. Needing a bit of a miracle to make it through that, no doubt. Have a great day though, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.